Hey everybody, Roger here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day amidst everything going on. As some of you may know from my last video, and there's a video I'm thinking about publishing or not publishing regarding my little tiff with Andrew Torba on Twitter, but I may just leave that alone. It just is not worth it, and he deleted his tweet, kind of trying to make me look like an idiot, which whatever. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today has a lot to do with coronavirus. I've been in Washington State for about a little less than a week now, and I'm looking at the news, I'm listening to the news, and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of restaurant closures, a lot of business early hour closures. Governor Jay Inslee here, he's doing what he can to make the spread of the virus go slow, I guess. So I guess they're doing what they can, and that's a good thing. In my last video, I'm like, oh, you can't make me do whatever, blah 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 blah. Of course, I know that's not completely true. We have martial law scenarios that could be put into effect. Every state right now has its own individual powers to do what it feels is necessary in their states, yada yada yada. So I'm having to adjust my trip. This is a family trip, and yes, I was born in the same state that Mundane Matt lives in, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm not out here getting boulders, so yeah, even though as you can tell, there's not really a lot of boulders out here. It's just a bunch of land. I don't know if you can see behind the windows or not. I'm currently driving outside of Spokane, going to Central Washington to visit more family, and that's where my dilemma is at this point. I've had to adjust this trip because I'm uncertain with all the things that change every hour of the day, these new restrictions that come into place for every state that I have to go through on the way home. I might be going through Oregon, I don't know. I most certainly will be going through Utah, which I love going through there, and they just had a magnitude 5.7 earthquake just a couple of days after I left. So, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going around. I feel like I'm in the movie Final Destination, and I'm running away from death. I don't know, from my fate. It's just so weird. All these things are happening. The pandemic here, coronavirus, the cabronavirus for a lot of people because they're acting like cabrons, and the earthquake, among other things. I'm concerned, and I think there are talks about some states actually thinking about closing off their state borders, and that to me is why my trip has to be adjusted here a lot. And I hate it because I just got done, I'm staying with my brother-in-law, my sister, husband and wife there, and my nephew, my young nephew, and he's been playing video games, and he also works hard. He's a great kid, and he's making all the right choices. He just graduated high school 2 years ago, and he's working full-time. He's going to get this, he's probably going to take advantage of a program they have at this company where they'll give him 2 years free college or something. So he's doing great. I'm very proud of him. I have another nephew I wasn't able to see. He's going through a little bit more troubled times, and I really wish I could have seen him. I really wish I could have seen him. I want to help him out and talk to him, find out what's going on. Want to help him out. I love both of them so much. I love my sister and my brother-in-law so much as well. My brother-in-law, he's immunocompromised as well, so I had to do my darndest to take care of myself, make sure I wasn't sick. Again, I know the coronavirus, you don't know if you're going to get sick, you don't know if you're a carrier. At some points, the symptoms aren't there for some people, especially for somebody like me who actually is more active and a lot more healthier than the average person as far as like how I live my life. At least this is my self-claim, my claim of self here, of how I take care of myself. So I take pride in that, but at the same time, it's like the longer I stayed and the more I kept going out, into town and coming back home, who knows if I maybe have caught it or not. And I'm here with my brother-in-law who had a kidney transplant a couple years back, and his immune system, he's actually told me that he's pretty scared about the whole thing as well. He doesn't know, if he's going to run into people that will be a carrier, and then, his immune system, he has no immune system basically. So that, I'm hoping and praying and sending some positive energy that everything turns out okay, and this is going to come to pass, and everybody survives this outright in my family, among other people as well, of course. My sister, she works in the local schools in Spokane, and She has a pretty big job, on her shoulders as well with the position that she has. But they've taken a week off, and then she's going to go back, I believe, next Monday. This is what she tells me. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to still stay at home. I have no idea. But as of now, she's scheduled to return next Monday. That might change. I'm concerned about her as well. If she brings it home, she's around a lot of people, so it's concerning. Anyways, where I'm going with all of this is I have to cut my trip short, and I don't want to be trapped in a state if they're going to be closing up the borders indefinitely if they have the powers to do so. I want to make sure I'm able to get home. I'm probably going either through Oregon, Utah, and then Colorado, maybe Wyoming, or I'm going only through Idaho, Utah, and Colorado. But regardless, you never know what these individual states are going to do. If they're going to, demand their borders be closed from anybody from other states, I don't know. All 50 states have it, so I hope that's not the case. We'll see. Now, my main topic of this video I wanted to make is, I have noticed, I'm on a couple of gay apps, and I've noticed that there are some people going batshit crazy on there. I had one person, I'm on there not looking for dates. I'm on there mostly to look, and whatnot. Yeah, I'm human. So, anyways, I'm on there to see if I can make new friends, yada, yada, yada. This one person, it's about 8:30 at night. I'm hanging out with my family, we're watching a TV show, and I'm getting ready for bed as well. He texts me, "Oh, so sexy," or whatever. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you too," and that was the last thing I sent him. I went to bed, woke up this morning, and I saw he was asking like 3 or 4 more questions within a span of like 5 minutes. 9 minutes after he asked those questions, because I didn't respond, he writes, "Okay, well, thanks for the chat anyways," like a little roll eyes or whatever. And I'm the type of guy now these days, like, if I see an opportunity to help somebody get, better themselves from being a little prissy biatch, I will do it. This guy was obviously a drama queen, and his profile name reflected as such. He said, tired of games or tired of drama or something like that. And I'm like, you just as respectfully coming from somebody who just took this from you, you didn't even wait 10 minutes. It was late at night. I'm hanging out with family. I'm temporarily here. You don't know this whole story. All you heard, I don't even know that you were going to ask me all these questions to see if I was going to be somebody you wanted to be interested in or something. I have no interest, but I mean, fuck, he let me, excuse the language, but he sent me all these messages like he was trying to court me or something. It was weird. And that's not what my profile says. So I just I messaged him back and I said, "Hey, you're taking this a little too seriously. Respectfully speaking here, or commenting here, you say you're not into drama, but you're kind of acting like a dick here. Again, sorry for the language. You might need to really reflect on yourself to see if you're the one causing the drama." I haven't checked to see if he sent a message back to me about that or not. I really don't care. It was just, I wanted to kind of create a little something for him to ponder on for himself, to rethink the way that he looks at life, I guess, because he's blaming other people for his perception of things. We all do that to a point. But where I'm going with all this is this: I'm noticing that there's a lot of people that are either very desperately, he's probably like a person that is just wanting to hook up day after day after day, and then there's other people in this community, in the gay community, who in their profiles are saying, "Please stay away from everybody, don't go out, have respect for the immunocompromised, yada yada yada." And I'm like, sure, all we're doing is just postponing the inevitable. Sure, we're making the hospitals, if we follow this protocol by keeping away from people for a while, we're alleviating the hospitals and whatnot, so we can give a cushion there, and hospitals will not be bombarded, like we're seeing with a lot of other places. At the same time, I understand that suggestion. It's a suggestion, and but I also see other issues with that as well. At what cost? I mean, we're closing down all these businesses. A lot of these businesses are going to be destroyed by the time this epidemic is over, if it happens to go around July, August. If it happens to spread that far, it could be June. Who knows? Again, these are nobody's been right about anything with this whole thing, but I believe maybe these estimates are a good gauge of what to expect. And if that happens, we have Trump now. I think I just read from Dave Vesco on Twitter, breaking that Trump is approving $1,200 for people making under $75,000 a year who are affected by this, and an extra $500 per child in the family as stimulus money for the pandemic coronavirus Wuhan virus situation. Great, this is fine. Again, it's going to cost us taxpayers money in the long run as well. But I guess it's a much needed step for the mistakes that both Democrats and Republicans, all of our elected officials throughout the years, have cost us, because we're not enforcing our borders, because we've decided to export. Decided to use NAFTA. We decided to let China be our number one major import, I guess, and of products. That we get imports from them, and we're at the mercy of this, along with a lot of our medications and whatnot that are produced there. So we have all of these issues that lazy politicians who told us they were the right moves, and that we elected them in. They tell us that all these are the right moves to, for the world to operate together harmoniously, yada, yada, yada. And then we have people on the other side, like this truck in front of me, I have no idea where to go. He's going in every lane. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, I'm going to try to pass it. But, we're in this mess because of the people we elected, because there's a lot of people who don't give a shit if there's an R or a D next to the name after they vote people in office. They have a preference. They don't care who that person is and what their record is. There's so much blame to go around. Again, the number one blame here is China, is communism. It came from there. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm okay with Trump calling it the Chinese virus, the China virus, whatever. And other people, reporters and journalists and whatnot, who want to make issue of it, you're fighting on the wrong battle here. We have a bigger epidemic than you trying to up your game and your story. So all these gay people, they're now having to resort to being desperate for sex. They're getting mad at you if you don't respond. It's just insane. It's insane. And then there's others that are telling you to stay away from people. I'm kind of in between. It's like, if you need to go out and do your thing, do your thing. And we're not a martial law yet. I believe there's one state that might actually be soon to propose it. I don't know. There's some other states who are enacting similar executive powers within their states to take your firearms, take your gas if they want to. Probably a lot of other things that are closely related to a martial law situation. So there's a lot of oddness going around right now. A lot of people trying to buy firearms. And let me ask you this, people who are now buying firearms, who are probably against firearms in the first place. It's not that easy, is it? No, I own a couple of firearms. I own about 3 of them. And every single one was a process. So yeah, you can say all you want about, oh, we are anti-gun and whatnot, but then when push comes to shove, you're out grabbing the toilet paper, you're out, getting all the paper products, all the food, taking everything, and then you're also going out there and buying a firearm because you're thinking last minute. It's desperation. But all these gay people now. So these gay apps, now they're putting warnings every time you go on there. Coronavirus this, coronavirus that. It's great. And yeah, it might help stop some of this promiscuity from going on. But it's not permanent. It curtails things for a little bit. But to all the people out there who are gay, who watch my channel, who either like or hate me, I will say this: do what you want. It's your free will. It's your free life. Keep in mind, you have commercials out there that promote promiscuity. There's some people who falsely believe that this pill, there's a PrEP pill, PEP and a PrEP pill. One is if you have HIV, if you're HIV positive, you can take it to prevent the spread of your sickness, I guess, your HIV, from anybody you have an encounter with. Gay people who don't have this are able to take PrEP. And I might be wrong on these two. Maybe I haven't flipped around. Maybe I have PEP wrong. I don't recall if it's called PEP. I don't have HIV. I have been tested. But here's the thing. We're teaching promiscuity. We're in a world where a lot of people believe that is 100% foolproof. Gay people believe it's 100% foolproof. It's not. You don't even look at the fine print. You just want to go out. You got your pill now. You're granted this opportunity to go out and be as promiscuous as you want, taking this pill that is mental, in my opinion. I don't know why you would do this, subject yourself to these situations unless you actually want to damage yourself and actually get HIV. I don't know, or an STD or whatever. But it's curtailing that right now for a bit. I'm seeing there's a lot of non-action on these platforms, and the people who are going crazy, they're few and far between, but they really want to go out there and have an encounter and spread whatever they have to other people without a care in the world. Gays, please be cautious and mindful of these things. Think smart, think for yourself. Don't go out there and start having these escapades at this time. Again, your free will. You can do that. I will not stop you from doing it. But start thinking about these consequences. You have two things now. You have a pill that you thought was 100% foolproof. A lot of you do. There's some of you who understand. I believe it's like a 7 out of 10 chance that you will not get it, not contract HIV, or maybe it's 8 out of 10, or maybe 8 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know. It's similar figures to that you will not contract HIV by taking this pill if you're promiscuous or sexual with somebody who has HIV. But then there's others who believe that it's 100% that you won't get it, and they go out and do all these sex acts, and then they now have the other thing of coronavirus. We live in an insane world. Coronavirus is both a blessing and a curse at the same time. I feel sorry for the business owners. I feel sorry for people who are working these jobs that are affected. The hotel industry, the catering industry, the restaurant industry, things of that nature. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm only curious, like, what the situation is going to be after all this is done. After this scare is over, there better not be a mandatory vaccine. I will refuse to take it. I will fight tooth and nail to not take it. And I have not taken a vaccine since probably I was in my teens, and I won't. And I don't suffer any ailments. I don't have any side effects. I don't have any other problems that other people have because they keep taking these things. I don't have a weakened, compromised immune system. Now granted, there's some other people. There's probably exceptions to this rule where you have to take these things, and I applaud these science and the medical profession for actually coming up with these solutions for those people. But the abuse of it, the marketing of it, this is a cash cow opportunity for a lot of these people. Please don't be fooled by this. Don't be fooled by this like you are with PEP and PrEP to a lot of people who are gay like me. Don't be fooled by this shit. Excuse the language again. But it's interesting to see how the gay community is acting at this point. It's hit and miss as far as like their attitudes and how some people are actually abstaining. It's great. It's hopefully they'll be able to be alone with themselves and think about what they want during this time. It's a time of self-reflection. A lot of gay people get caught up, and this is so true because I get so sick and fucking tired. Again, excuse the language. Don't excuse that one. No, I get sick and fucking tired of all these profiles that I see on here, and it shows I'm gonna say 95 out of 100 people who I look at profiles on these things, they do everything in the book for sex, and then they also put on there that they do PrEP and PEP and whatever. It's like, and the world turns, and people, and they get mad when they get that stigma thrown at them. Oh, gay people are promiscuous and they do this and that. No, some of us want families and stuff. Yes, a small percentage. And there's some of us who really don't want a big family. I don't want kids or anything at this stage of my life. And going forward, I wish I would have had them when I was younger, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm okay with who I am and where I'm at. But have some self-respect. Have some self-respect for yourself, and maybe look at this time where you're probably gonna, you're probably very antsy to go have a new, sex or be promiscuous with other guys. Not just one guy, but guys in plural here. Gays are promiscuous. They're the most promiscuous people in the world. And I'm probably one of the few gays that think more like a female, and it really sucks. And not to say that I don't have needs. I do have needs, and I do have fantasies. All of us do. All of us do. But, there's other things more important in your life. And this is a time where I'm self-reflecting a little bit more as well in my life of who I am, what I want, as a man, as an American, as a gay man, I'm reflecting on these things, and it's I hope you take that time to do this too. You know, don't go out there and hurt yourself. Please take some of my advice in regards to the real statistics. Look up the statistics of PrEP and PEP. Don't just go to the clinics and get your pills and go out and get off and have fun with all these guys. Stop doing that. Stop damaging yourself. Have a little more respect for yourself. Do you have the freedom and the right to do so? To be as humble to your body or as promiscuous with your body as you want? Of course you do. I'm not telling you to not do it. I'm just telling you, please hear some words from other people and look at this as a time of self-reflection. If you want to go out there and spread the virus, spread your thing or whatever, fine. You have the right to do so. But depending on the state that you're in and the place that you live and who you are and what you're going to do, you're either going to pay the consequences of it legally or you're not. And again, that's the beauty of America, is you have these choices to either be a villain or not. You know, and it's a beautiful thing when done right. And if it gets chaotic, no, I would never want our government to take over and start administrating how we are to think. That would be horrible. We go down with freedom, or we don't go at all. You know, that's just how I look at it, regardless if it takes a negative turn or not. You know, we created America out of nothing. Look at where we're at now. So that's all I wanted to say. It's a mixed bag of video here, and I'm sorry, I am rambling a little bit, but this was just meant to kind of highlight what's going on in the gay apps that I'm noticing, what I'm reading in the articles as well of what's happening regarding gay dating apps and dating apps in general, of course, but wanted to give my 2 cents in of what I'm experiencing here while I'm on this Wuhan trip to Washington visiting family. Don't worry, I'm not going to be visiting Mundane Matt. I think he's in the Tacoma area, and I am heading there as well, but maybe he'll say hi. I don't know. Maybe I'll bump into the guy when I get my food, when I order in from Uber Eats, right? Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts about gay apps in general and how the gay community, who I know is promiscuous, I live it, I see it, I read it, I have messages from it, I know it. I know they are, and I don't care what any gay guy says. You are the majority of you are promiscuous, and it's an epidemic. It's a crisis. Be more humble to yourself. Be a little bit more respectful to your body and to the people who are around you, who love you, and want that love in return. But what say you? You know, regardless of gays dating during the coronavirus or straights dating or all in between, what do you guys prefer? Do you think it's a good thing that that the states are having their own executive powers to mandate a curfew, which I think is pointless? You're just flooding the daytime people into these areas. It's going to be more people in the day. It doesn't matter. Or do you think it's outlandish? I think it's a combo of both. I can see the pros and cons of both. But when it starts teetering to a little bit more control over the people, then I'm going to have a big issue with it. Right now, we're not there yet. I'm happy about that. But we'll see. We'll see where this takes us. Maybe it'll just come to pass and everything will be hunky-dory. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.